Greetings, my fellow YouTubers, and welcome to Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews. I'm Joel, aka the Big D, back again with another back-to-back review in a week of Disney. And this time I bring to you a review of the next two installments of the run of Herbie movies. Now, I am reviewing the Love Bug series, but except for Herbie Fully Loaded. So here it is. I bring to you a review of Herbie Goes to Monte Carlo from 1977 and Herbie Goes Bananas from 1980. Both films were directed by Vincent McEvity, who had recently directed The Strongest Man in the World, which I'll be reviewing next month, and Gus, which came out a year before this, which I have already reviewed. Check my review out for it. Of course, this is the third film starring Herbie, the 1963 Volkswagen racing vehicle with a mind of its own. Now, Dean Jones is back in this as Herbie's original owner, Jim Douglas. Now, unfortunately, well, to be honest, I'm going to say that they unfortunately didn't bring back Billy Heck as Tennessee Steinmetz. So, anyway, Jim has a new mechanic, and that's in the form of Wheelie Applegate, played by Andy Griffith's show and absolute funny guy Don Knotts, who had recently starred in Gus as well as the Apple Dumpling Gang, which I will be reviewing later in the week, along with its sequel, The Apple Dumpling Gang Rides Again, which was also directed by McEvity. Also in the movie is Julie Summers as Diane Darcy, who apparently drives, let me see here. Well, it's hard to explain, but yeah, there it is. Her car, a Lancia, has caught Herbie's attention. Let's see, and then, of course, we also have some others, including Jacques Marin as Inspector Bouchet, and the two who actually we learn is the central antagonist. Yes, you think this inspector is a good guy? Well, you got another thing coming. That's only one of the spoilers I'm going to give. Okay, I'm going to try not to spoil too much of this because this probably would be rarely remembered, but I'm going to just keep bringing this up. And his two accomplices are Max, played by Bernard Fox, whom that same year this came out, he was the voice of the chairman for the Rescue Aid Society in The Rescuers, which I've already reviewed. And of course, he's best known for playing Dr. Bombay on TV's Bewitched, and well, later on he played the character again in the short-lived spin-off Tabitha. And Quincy, played by Roy Kinnear. Most of y'all know him as Veruca Saltstad from Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, which I have reviewed with Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, but very soon I'm going to try to do an extended review of the movie alone. Well, anyway, we get ready to see, well, Jim Douglas and his mechanic, Wheelie Applegate, and Herbie head off for Monte Carlo in the fictional Trans-France race. Well, it's from Paris to Monte Carlo. That's why I mean, so my mistake. Anyway, they hope to stage a racing comeback in the event. And they soon have two big rivals in here besides Diane Darcy. There's Bruno von Stickel, played by Eric Braeden. He is a German driver. and Claude Gilbert, played by Mike Colxar, a French driver. But apparently, once they meet Diane, boy, she's pretty much of a hothead. Especially hates him for this because thinks he's making fun of her for being a woman driver. I mean, come on, there's nothing wrong with a woman car driver, okay? Come on, we had Danica Patrick as a female racer a few years ago, for heaven's sake. Oh, sorry, I'm not trying to be. I hope I'm not trying to be mean or anything on this, y'all. But anyway, as soon apparently Jim seems to be attracted to Diane, but however, Herbie's attracted to her car, a Lancia. Yeah, and believe me, they really have a bit of a love interest, but boy, it gets, I don't know, between Jim and Diane. Meanwhile, two thieves, Max and Quincy, steal the French diamond, the Star of Joy, and hide it in Herbie's fuel tank. And apparently, they soon learn that they are talking to an agent named Double X, who, unknown to them and unknown to our heroes until their eyes, really Inspector Bouchette. But they really do try and stop these two. They go on a big race, and really, especially when they get those two jewel thieves kind of big avalanche. Real funny, and well, that's all I'm going to say about this movie. You can find this on Disney Plus, but anyway, I like the performances from the characters. The story's not too bad here. It might not come close to as good as the first two were, but still, it does have some fun moments. Oh yeah, and I almost forgot. I like the score for the film, which was done by Frank DeVol. Yes, that's the Frank DeVol who also did the music for The Parent Trap, and also later for using just his last name was, well, the main composer for TV's Family Affair, which, well, for most of the episodes, but there were other composers that did starring episodes besides him, and of course, that's the same Frank DeVol who also did the music for TV's The Brady Bunch. And he'd also do the music for Herbie Goes Bananas, which I'll be reviewing in just a second. So, I did like the performances we got from Dean Jones and Don Knotts and Julie Summers and the rest of the cast. They were pretty good. Would I recommend this? Sure, why not? Give it a try. I think you might enjoy this. You'll get a few laughs, though, from it. But that's about it on that. But we ain't finished yet. Onward to the fourth and final Herbie movie I'm going to review, and that would be Herbie Goes Bananas, released in 1980. Now, again, it was directed by Vincent EVT, and its music was done by Frank DeVol. Now, of course, unfortunately, once again, Jim Douglas is gone from this, and well, everything. He does get mentioned, though, in this, however. Now, this loosely picks up where the last movie left. Now, we meet, well, let me see now. Oh, yes. A couple of youngsters named Pete and Davey. Now, Pete's played by Stephen W. Burns, and Davey, or DJ for short, played by Charles Martin Smith, head for Puerto Vallarta, Mexico, to retrieve the car known as Herbie, because Pete has inherited Herbie. But however, once there, they meet a little boy named Paco, played by Joaquin Garay III, who unfortunately is a real mischief maker because he's an orphaned pickpocket. And soon, they both, when he befriends Herbie, they get into some real trouble on a cruise ship called the Sun Princess. They head to Rio de Janeiro, but apparently, another surprise occurs when Pete and DJ encounter an anthropology student named Melissa, played by Alyssa Davalos, and her extravagant, eccentric Aunt Louise, played by Cloris Leachman, who the previous year had a cameo in the Muppet movie, and of course was a star of TV's Phyllis, and has also appeared in some of Mel Brooks' movies. The same one for this one. The ship's captain of this, Captain Blight, played by Harvey Korman, best known for his work on the Carol Burnett Show, and of course he also had appeared in some of Mel Brooks' movies with Leachman. Well, one movie with Leachman, and that was 1977's High Anxiety. And of course, Corman also appeared in 1981's History of the World Part 1, and Leachman appeared in the 1974 Mel Brooks classic Young Frankenstein. There, got that story out. But apparently, Paco gets into some real hot water with Herbie, and thus, apparently, after his costume party is wrecked, Herbie is dropped into the sea, but however, manages to resurface, and Paco gets reunited with him, and he dumps him Ocho because of the 5 and 3, and of course 5 and 3 is 8. So the fun really begins. And Paco decides to go into business and turns Herbie into a taxi. Unfortunately, if Paco wasn't much for Pete and DJ after he pickpockets their money and what have you, especially when he meets up with the two later on, he's in a bit of a predicament with 3 villains. Their leader is, a man named Prindle, played by John Vernon, who you probably know him from lots of movies. And let's see. Oh yes, and 2 of his partners. Let's see. Shepard and Quinn. They're actually gold thieves, and they are planning to find an antique gold disc, but Paco steals a bit of microfilm from them, and they try to track him down to get it back. Well, apparently, Captain Blythe and Aunt Louise managed to encounter Paco, and they try and escape from Prindle and his goons to a bullfight where they have a real fun encounter. And soon later on, they manage to reunite with Melissa and Pete and DJ. So apparently, but their happiness wouldn't quite last that long when Paco leaves with Herbie and is soon caught by Prindle and his men, and they soon go to an old temple where they find the gold disc. And they would it was raining big time, so they leave Paco behind, but later on Herbie catches up with him and ranks them so they could try and stop them. And with a little bit of camouflaging with bananas, they managed to stop, and soon they stop the bad guys before they can get away in an airplane. But that's all I'm gonna say. I'm not gonna try to spoil more of this, okay? So you're gonna have to see this movie. This movie's pretty fun. Now, unlike the other Love Bug movies, this did have a couple songs in this, as a matter of fact. Now, one of them was called I have a new friend, which that's a real good song you hear, and also you hear that at the end credits. So that's really good actually, and I do think it's a nice one. So I do say you should check it out. You can find that on the Herbie 4 movie collection I showed you in the last Herbie back-to-back review. If you have not seen it yet, I would recommend you watch it. But would I recommend Herbie Goes Bananas? Again, like I said with the last movie, sure, give it a try. You might get a few laughs. Like Herbie Goes to Monte Carlo, it does have a few hits or misses. I feel it's got more hits than misses. But it can give you a few laughs and what have you. I did like the performances we got from the cast. Cloris Leachman, Harvey Korman, they were all real good. Paco was a great character. And Prindle was an absolute good villain. Now, you can also find Herbie Goes Bananas on Disney Plus as well. So that means, and also Herbie Fully Loaded. So all 5 Herbie movies are actually on Disney Plus, or so I read, according to a source I found. But hey, I've been wrong before. So give that one a try too, if you'd like. I mean, you might get some good laughs from it. But again, I ain't reviewing the 5th movie because I have rare remembrances of that one. Okay, so don't bother asking me to review it. So maybe I could if I ever encounter it again. So anyway, that's going to do it for the Herbie series reviews. What did you think? Let me know what you thought about Herbie Goes to Monte Carlo and Herbie Goes Bananas in the comment section. Like and subscribe to my channel and be a part of the Big D Nation. Join me later tonight when I review the original anime classic Lady and the Tramp. Until next time, I'm the Big D saying see ya.